Hello, welcome back to Delectable You, Recipes for Life. I am Lauren, and today I am pressed for time. And I've got a bag of kale and a bag of spinach in the fridge that is going bad, and I don't want to throw it away. So I'm going to show you how to make my go-to meal, which is roasted sweet potatoes, roasted cherry tomatoes, sautéed onions, kale, and spinach mixed together. It's delicious. Everybody wins. Okay, so I've already cut up my sweet potatoes and I've already washed and dried my cherry tomatoes. So I'm just gonna cut the last sweet potato up into small cubes. Okay, so now I just need olive oil, salt, and pepper. You may notice a theme. These are kind of my favorite ingredients of all time because they're simple and they just bring out the natural flavors of everything. Get a little bit of pepper. As you can see, I freehand everything. I don't like to measure. Usually works out fine. Now just toss this all together. Make sure that the oil is coating all of the vegetables. And then spread it out into a nice even layer. Do the same thing with the cherry tomatoes. I'm gonna wash my hands because they're kind of disgusting. And then I'm gonna put them in the oven at 375. Just realized this was on 350 for 30 minutes. So now that those are in the oven, we can deal with these onions. So I've already chopped up the onions just to save time, but just in case you don't already have an onion chopping technique, really easy thing to do after you've halved the onion and cut off the ends, just cut little slits, but not all the way to the edge in the onion, because you want the onion to stay together. So now that you've done that, be really careful. Don't get your fingers in this and slice across like this. So now all you need to do is chop like this, and they come out in perfect little dice, small dice. So you don't have to waste any time. Okay? So let's just take this all the way over here. Okay, so I've had this pan heating up for a little bit, and then I put some oil in it to heat it even further, because you don't want to put any kind of vegetables into cold oil, because what happens is the vegetable just sucks up all of the oil and then it just gets really soggy and gross. So if you ever go to a restaurant and you get really soggy French fries, it's probably because they being the chefs, didn't wait to put the fries in until the oil was hot enough. So the fries went in and the potatoes went sucked up all the oil, and you got a soggy fry instead of a nice crispy fry. So let's put our onions in here, and you know it's ready because you can hear the sound. And man, those tomatoes are just having a heyday in the oven. They're exploding like crazy. Just going to toss these around and make sure that they all get coated in oil. And what we're gonna do is just wait until they get nice and translucent and buttery and wonderful. And once they're at that kind of consistency, which should take about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what you want, then we'll put the kale in. All right, so these are nice and buttery and translucent, and they're just where I want them to be. Now I could let them go for a little bit more, and I can caramelize them more and brown them some more, but this is okay for me. I like them like this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bag of almost going bad kale, but not yet, and I'm gonna put it in here. All of it, the entire bag. That's why I have this big saucepan, because if I just had a regular frying pan, then there would be kale flying everywhere, which is fine, but you know, not the best. And you guessed it, salt and pepper. Little pepper. Some salt. That's probably enough. That was probably like half a teaspoon. Now I'm actually going to use the tongs, and I'm just going to mix it all together because I want the oil and the onions to just lightly coat the kale. All right, so it looks to me like the kale is nice and coated with the oil and the onions. So now I'm just going to cook it off for probably 2 to 3 minutes. I don't want to overcook it because I don't want all of the nutrients to be sucked out, just until they're a little bit softer. Okay, so I've just been tossing this for probably about 60 seconds, and I really like, if you want to just take a look in there, I really like the way that it looks. It's cooked down a little bit, but not too much. It's nice and soft, and now I can add my spinach, the entire bag again. Technically, you could put 2 bags of spinach in because the spinach just wilts down so quickly, but toss this all together, and the spinach will take maybe 60 seconds to wilt down. So you can see that entire bag of spinach just totally wilted down to what looks like almost nothing. And this is pretty much where I want it to be at, but I'm not ready with my veggies yet. They still have another 6 minutes in the oven, so I'm actually gonna turn this off. And I'm gonna wait until my veggies are ready, and then I can put them all together. So my vegetables are ready. Oh yes, hello. These are my nice roasted cherry tomatoes. You see how yummy those are? All I need to do is add these, scrape them with all of their delicious burnt residue into the pan. And now let's get these sweet potatoes that are nice and ready, equally delicious. Toss them in there. And I make this meal probably once a week. And I toss the vegetables either into a big mixed salad with quinoa and other things, or I'll just have it plain on a bed of quinoa, or I'll just have it completely plain without anything else because the flavors are really that good. Now I'm just going to toss this around. And now that's it. That's how you make this kale, spinach, sweet potato, roasted cherry tomato dish. It's a perfect go-to meal that's very quick to make. Really good thing to have in the fridge for the week if you're pressed for time. And I hope that you enjoy it. If you have any questions you want to email me about, please go ahead and do so. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks for joining me. Lauren Lobley with Delectable You, and I will see you